What's Zam? It's your boy Zam May, and I'm here with
Classic Ruby, y'all. What's up? What's good? What's happening? What's popping this lovely Thursday evening? Listen, y'all. I can't even tell y'all. There are some stories tonight. I honestly almost jumped out of my skin. Like, it is gonna be a wild and crazy and wonderfully stupendous night. I am super excited. Are you super excited, Sal?
I am. We got some crazy story, a lot of fire. Shout out to BMT. He loves our hats. Shout out to him.
Hey now.
There
you go.
Shout out to Shar. Shout out to Mama Bell. Shout out to Danteezy. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all for coming. To the early people, I do shout out to y'all. BMT he does love the hats.
I taunted him. I'm like, yeah, that's right. And I do have a different hat today, by the way, because he wants to hate on the hat. So you see, look, I got the backwards hat, but I had to make sure y'all could see the brim because it's a real hat. Thank you. Got to do this whole Karen thing in style today. But I'm telling y'all, like, listen, the stories today, like, I'm telling y'all, like, just prepare yourselves. That's all I gotta say. Prepare yourself. And Shar, I know for sure there's gonna be a moment you're gonna laugh because as I was editing, I was like, Shar's gonna appreciate. I'm not even gonna edit out any of this. I'm gonna leave my raw, unadulterated reaction just for Shar because I know she's gonna be laughing over there. So it's gonna be a good night. I am ready to get this party started. What about you, Sal?
I am excited. We got some crazy stories, a lot of fire. This show might burn the house down. You never know. So let's get right into it.
All right.
Oftentimes I come up finding issues where I don't have enough time to do like a lot of stories. Simply because, not because of time, but because the show needs a longer segment, because these stories are literally 1 minute, 2 minutes long, and I want to get these stories in. So let's do a Zero React segment, right? Let's do some of these smaller stories that only take me a minute to 40 seconds to go over, because you don't want to hear me ramble about random things. So let's just put 3 or 4 big stories and put them on just one thing, and we can go over some of the cases. And this right here is one of the biggest ones. YK Osiris accused of SA after grabbing and kissing Sukihan. YK Osiris believed he had the right to grab Sukihan and planted an unwanted kiss on her lips, and for that the internet is letting them have it, accusing the singer of. The whole thing went down over the weekend, the Crew League event in Atlanta. Suki's sitting at the host table when Osiris comes up behind her and starts to rub on her shoulder. Now, this is typically not good. So I'm gonna just go over this. Let's just see what happened. Some people might like she wanted it and all that. Let's see. Let's go over. Oh, he rubbing her shoulder. He looks very uncomfortable. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let's go to Twitter real quick. He looks very uncomfortable with him doing this. He goes in for the kiss. She does not want it. He tries to grab her face. Everybody looks shocked. It is weird. He's laughing like a weirdo. Then he keeps rubbing her shoulder. She's clearly saying no. He goes in again. She wins away. And this is a lesson for all of you brothers right there. I want you to go over this lesson about, look, he tried to dap dude up. Dude was like, nah, fam, that's not really funny. Some people looking weird. He's like, okay, man, let's get the little hand thing. This is very weird. It's weird. Yes, that was weird. She was very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. I just want you to understand, when she says no, when her whole body tells you no, it means no, sir. You don't do that. You don't proceed. If you're giving a woman a back massage and she is trying to get away like this, you probably know that you're not in the right space. No matter how you feel about said lady right here, you, sir, are in the complete wrong. That's all I gotta say on that. That's all I gotta say. Let's go to the next story of the day. We have Little Boosie. I want to take this time to apologize to my kids. I'm sorry and I love y'all forever. For y'all that don't know what's going on with this story, shout out to Jack Black. He essentially was in the YMW Melly. He's sitting in the crowd talking about he wants to be a lawyer and all that. And apparently the feds picked him up while he was in court. Yes, he was in the courtroom watching a case, being one of the citizens, because you know citizens can sit at a case and watch. And they picked him up Simple. It's kind of ironic. It's kind of weird. It's kind of honestly. I don't never wish a man in jail. I don't wish he got arrested, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's just kind of funny. That's basically what happened. He been talking about he's gonna be a lawyer and all that. And let's go to our final story. Tyler Perry appears to be owning BET, except for we don't know. Yes, Tyler Perry seems to be owning BET. Shout out to BMT, but we do not know yet. We don't know, but if he did, shout out to him. There are conflicting reports. First time in 21 years, BET is black owned. He's a tired, who cares? The people stay in my lane. A bunch of people congratulating him. Then some people saying it is not down. It is not. Everybody saying it's basically finished, but he has not finalized the deal yet. I don't know if it's on BET and Viacom's thing or it's him. Now listen, I know how y'all do. I know how y'all hate any successful black man. Y'all hate not y'all, but y'all. You know what I'm talking about. Black people. When a black man's successful, y'all hate. Even I disagree, dislike his movie, like his movie. Brother succeed, we supposed to celebrate, right? No, not in the black community. Every black person in him got a bunch of skeletons. Sometimes we even make up. This story is about this man right here. That never happened. This stories of people who never been in movies. They claim been in movies with this man. Oh, he's putting all these people in the movie. Where? He literally made a story about a black man wearing a bus driver dating a woman. Hitting a man with grits like Otis Red and them, and all them people back in the day used to get hit with the grits. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is the stories he makes. He makes black people stories from the hood. Sometimes they're horribly written and very badly paced. Sometimes they're great. By the way, Tyler, please work on your pacing and everything. I appreciate the black man winning. Yo, BT black on. I'm happy. Name somebody who put more black people on him. His literally show is just full of black people. Regular, straight black people. Christian, gospel black people. Hundreds of them just, you know their name now because of this man. But somehow we still find a way. Jay-Z, same thing. Everybody, if you're successful in black people hate you. But, so this is me wanting to show black excellence and congratulations to Mr. Tyler Perry. Because in this, we have had a normal story, a sad story, now we have this success story. Just please, for the love of God, get some writers and don't go cheap and do weird Tubi stuff where camera angles are not used and color correction is not done. Yo, listen, I'll be that can go on BT. I'm just saying, we will put one show on it. That Ruby want another show, we'll put it on Viacom. Listen, I'm not getting on my YouTube channel. I like to be in control of my life, but this is Tyler Perry. I'll put her name down. Listen, BT, Zell selling out. Listen, I'm not selling out nothing. I'm just trying to, hey, put more black people on. I support you, my brother. Get better writers, please, though. That's the only thing I say. Y'all let us know if y'all enjoy this entertainment segment. Do y'all want me to spend more time on these subjects, or do y'all don't mind because these stories really just these stories? Let me know. Back to us, or like and subscribe. By the way, this is going out after the Thursday show every time. By the way, just wanted y'all to know. Zell Reacts. I got 2 Zell Reacts today. This one is going out after the show. The entertainment one is going out of the show. Just update.
Listen, okay, I'll start with the Tyler Perry thing because I got to say this. Black Americans, and I didn't know y'all had beef with like Tyler Perry. I didn't know that for a really long time because Black Americans see Tyler Perry very differently than, say, Black Canadians do, right? And the reason why is because, like, for us, right? And in a way, I understand it. I didn't get it until someone explained it to me, but I understand now. Because the way we saw it, right, was all these movies, sure, there's a little joke to it, right? Like Medea's like a joke. But in general, we're like, okay, you're portraying Blackness, Black Americanness. Like, we really believe that, right? So it doesn't insult us in any way because it's not portraying Black Canadians, it's not portraying Jamaicans. He's portraying Black America. So if therefore, you're using a Black man who likes to dress up in drag, much like Mrs. Doubtfire, right? But that's the portrayal of, the matriarch of the family and whatever, and all of the men are in essence not patriarchs and they're not really strong men and stuff. And they're all kind of just gross and fat and lazy and whatever. I understand why some of these portrayals would feel really insulting to Black Americans. So I do kind of get it on one side. On the other side, I don't think Black America understands how much people see through the parts that are just, it's funny, it's bullshit, it's a joke, right? Like they know it's a joke and they still see the enviable part of Black American culture, and they still envy it and they still want all parts of it. And I don't mean the ratchet parts and whatever. And to me, it is people like Tyler Perry that brought that to the rest of us. So I don't know. I guess I don't understand the hate. Like, to me, it's not really different than what Robin Williams did, and no one saw that as, oh, well, all white. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Listen, I don't understand. All I know is once you hit near 1 billion, black people in general just start making up rumors and hate you. That's the one truth I found out in life. We automatically, as soon as you hit here, you got a scandal where you mess with kids, you sold out, you part of Illuminati. I'm like, how Bill Gates not part of Illuminati, but Jay-Z is? I'm so confused. I just don't understand. So that's all it is. And yeah. BMT has something to say to Black, we still adopt you, boo.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not being racist. I'm just like, you know, because that's the thing, right? I think there is an element of, I won't say racism because we're Black people, right? But like, there's an element where we don't understand the parts that Black Americans are objecting to. We don't understand that, you know, where the truth from the lie kind of separates and whatever. I think in a way we watch the shows and we think, oh, it's funny, but it's probably mostly true, right? Like soul food to me was everything. I wanted Blackness. I wanted to go to Black Mecca and go get that thing, that Blackness that Black Americans had. And I learned that from soul food, right? So I didn't see Medea and soul food and all these like movies as like a caricature. I saw them as something really enviable that I wished I had. I wished we had Black culture here in that way where we had Black communities and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't think Black Americans just see, y'all don't see yourselves the way we see y'all. Let's put it that way. Okay. And we definitely put y'all on a pedestal. We definitely do. And anyone who says otherwise is lying. So don't let, like, you know, foreigners and stuff lie, because we all put y'all on a pedestal. It is what it is.
That is true. We have a next story, and I'm ready to get into this. Apparently we have youth obsessed rich Ruby. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
What?
It's the rich man obsessed, youth obsessed rich, the story.
Oh, I see what happened. I know, I really do. We should have swapped that. Anyway, okay, cool. So y'all, I think I kind of hinted at the story a couple times. I did. But we never actually showed the story. So I'm showing the story now, okay? And so what would you do if you invented a great thing and then you had $800 million from selling it? What would you do? Would you try to find the fountain of youth? Yeah. How far would you go if that was your interest? Well, let's see what this one rich, crazy dude does with his time and money.
Bless your heart.
Let's be real, right? In today's day and age, most of us are searching for the magical fountain of youth, or at the very least, we're doing everything in our power to extend our own youth and vitality, right? But how far would you go if the world was your oyster and if money was no object? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't go as far as this next man that we're about to review. Take a look.
One man is using his life as a science experiment to see just how long he can live. And we're not talking about just making 100. We're talking about like 140, 150, 160. Our latest Stay Tuned Now original report takes you there. He calls himself the world's most measured human. And if you ask him how old he is, well, here's how he explains it.
So we can say my left ear is 64.
Okay.
So I have hearing damage because as a child. My diaphragm strength is age 18. My lung capacity is age 18. My heart is about a dozen different ages, different features of it, but it's collectively about 37.
For those of us keeping track the old-fashioned way, he's 45. But he might not be aging like the rest of us because he is doing everything he can to try to slow down growing old.
It's an open science experiment.
What's the end goal?
To demonstrate that we can dramatically slow the rate of aging and reverse the aging that has happened. If we didn't have decay and decline as a assumption that happened, what if it would change everything about being human?
And if that sounds expensive,
Probably, yeah.
it is. But 10 years ago, Johnson sold his company Braintree Venmo to PayPal for $800 million. And now he spends about $2 million each year trying to reverse the aging of his body.
We set a world record reversing my epigenetic age by 5.1 years in 7 months.
He says he does it by sticking to a strict regimen he calls Blueprint. And that protocol covers everything from vegan meals like this
Over a month, I eat about 70 pounds of vegetables.
to a whole bunch of supplements.
I drink this and I take 52 pills.
52 pills in the morning.
Yes, upon waking.
wild.
Wow. And a workout routine designed by his teenage son who he competes with. Johnson's body fat now down to 5%. And around his house, everything money can buy to slow down aging.
We're trying to achieve skin quality like an 18-year-old.
And with all due respect, right now, when people see it, they're like, oh, there's a rich guy doing it. And this costs millions and millions of dollars. You have a team of some 30 doctors. How far away are we from having society, from anyone having access to these types of therapies?
My primary objective with Blueprint is not to solve the accessibility problem globally. The objective in the earliest stages is to show something's feasible.
Dr. Nir Barzilai is the director of the Einstein Institute of Aging Research at the
I want you to think about this, right? So this man invented one thing, he was able to sell it, go team go, and I guess, you could do whatever the hell you want, right? You could be like Elon Musk and run around and pretend you've ever had another or any great ideas and whatever, and just keep barging in on company after company or whatever, right? You could run for president like Trump, right? There's lots of things you could do. He decided he's going to kick back, relax, be trained by his child, and, just generally pour every last dime he has into trying to become 18 again. Because he's experimenting on himself, right? This is not it's like a third party. No, this is really all 100% about him. He doesn't even really care about the scientific end or whatever. This is literally about him being able to turn back the clock for himself, for him to be able to go back, right? Even with him talking about the scientific age of all these different parts of his body, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York. And he agrees that aging doesn't have to be synonymous with disease and decline.
It's the aging that drives the disease. And it's an important concept because if we stop the aging, we stop the disease. And I'm not talking about one disease. I'm talking about all diseases of aging, or most of them, certainly cardiovascular and cancer and cognitive decline and mortality.
Meanwhile, Johnson says he'll keep searching for that 21st century fountain of youth.
I don't have a fear of death. I have a love of life. I mean, how lucky are we that we exist? So why not make the best of it?
Now, let's not allow this dude to fool us into thinking that no, he's not afraid of death. It's nothing to do with that. It's just, it's kind of, he loves life and he's interested, and that's about it, right? Yeah. Well, let's see. So now, 45-year-old tech entrepreneur Brian Johnson recently took to Dallas area health clinic with his 17-year-old son, Talmadge, and his 70-year-old dad, Richard, to engage in an intergenerational blood swap, with the elders receiving the plasma of their offspring like some sort of 21st century vampiric ritual. It wasn't the first time the middle Johnson had been to a clinic to get young blood transfusions, though during those prior visits, he received the blood of an anonymous donor whose profile he painstakingly selected based on body mass index, blood type, diet, and overall health record. Full disclosure, Johnson was an early investor in futurism, though his involvement ended years ago. Though his overt involvement, let's be real, right? This is not, of course, Johnson's first foray into trying to drink from the fountain of youth. We know. We just, we're looking at the video on his quest to return his brain, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, tendons, teeth, skin, hair, bladder, penis, and rectum to the state they were collectively in when he was 18 years old. The ongoing endeavor cost him about $2 million per year as he employs a team of 30 doctors and specialists to advise him on how to return to his peak late teen physique. Now, they do say that he's far from alone in the world of uber wealthy youth seekers who are, in essence, extracting the blood of the young to attain the purported age reversing properties it's been told to possess. Since at least the time of Countess Elizabeth Bathory, the concept has frequently shown up in folklore. Now, some researchers are starting to suggest that there might be some science to back up all this young blood business. Some gruesome studies in mice have shown that when the younger rodents are literally stitched together to share a circulatory system, the elders do seem to have some improvements in cognition and circulation. It's still unclear, however, if those findings translate to humans. And God, let's hope that this millionaire with money to waste doesn't decide that he should hook himself up to his son just to see if it works out, right? Because I don't know. No one tell him about this idea, though, just in case, because I'm not sure. Now, in the wake of fears of a scenario like the all-too-real Blood Boy phenomenon depicted in a later season of the HBO show Silicon Valley, the Food and Drug Administration issued a warning back in 2019 against the practice of young blood transfusions, which it called an unproven therapy. Gee, no one's heard of blood doping before? There is no proven clinical benefit of infusion of plasma from young donors to cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent these conditions, and there are risks associated with the use of any plasma product, the FDA warned at the time. Experts have voiced some serious doubts about the practice. Worse yet, it could be potentially harmful. I mean, to me, it's gross, evidence-free, and relatively dangerous. Charles Brenner, a biochemist at the City of Hope National Medical Center in Los Angeles, told Bloomberg. Brenner had an interesting theory as to why anybody would want to swap blood with their direct relatives. The people going into these clinics who want anti-aging infusions, they basically have an anxiety problem. Brenner told the publication they have an anxiety problem about their mortality. I don't know if I would say anxiety problem. This is me. I don't know if I would say anxiety problem. I think, well, I mean, technically it might be an offshoot of an anxiety problem, kind of like how body dysmorphia is an anxiety problem at its core. But I think it's something along those lines. Definitely. All the same, Johnson defended the practice. We start from evidence first, Johnson told Bloomberg from the clinic that hosted his trigenerational blood exchange. We do nothing based on feeling. Nothing. I believe him. I believe he does nothing based on feeling, not the least of which is raise his son or make decisions about what of his sons he's going to use on his quest to stay forever young. Right? So, yeah, no, nothing based on feeling.
Bless your heart.
Now, what's absolutely amazing about this, okay, and it will be in the release that we've got going on, is they certainly have made a lot of advances when it comes to, this fountain of youth and the youth genes and whatever that don't involve bloodletting your underage children. But, when you're wealthy, like, who cares, right? Like, who cares? And the fact that he's using his father, his elderly father and his underage child all in experiments, I'm sure because he wants to see how long will this work on him. What do you think, Zell? What do you think of this insanity?
Listen. We got a real life vampire, and like, we are not alarmed at this, right? Like, oh, he's just doing his family. Like, I'm telling you, this is how Caesar and them used to do when they used to inbreed. It's like a crazy thought where if we just keep it in our royal blood, it'll be crazy, but it end up making them all insane and everything. This is the same thing. And it's all rich white people. It's always rich, wealthy white people. Hey, if we keep it in our own blood, it'll be special. No, it just make y'all a little different.
Right. Well, if you notice, right, when he had the news coverage, he never mentioned this, in essence, blood transfusion / blood doping thing he was doing. Didn't mention it once. But at that time, he was already doing this. And he was doing it. He was going to, getting random donations. What do you want to bet those weren't quite so random? He's like, oh, I was looking through the donation book for Clinton. No, you weren't. right? Like this is where people start getting snatched off the street and stuff because they have you know, that special golden blood or double zero, you know what I mean? Like I'm telling you. But he didn't want to admit that in the news story, right? So when it finally started coming out that he was doing this, he's like, no, look, you guys can follow us. It's just me and my son and my father. That's it. Yeah, like I did it a couple times through a bank, but that's it. No, that's not, bro. Trust me, this dude, 45 years old, didn't take him long to turn into an entirely insane person. You know, money, what do they say? Absolute power, money, power corrupts absolutely. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Something like, I don't know, but I know $800 million is too damn much money to give someone who used to be broke and then suddenly has $800 million. Too much. It's too much. They can't handle it.
It is way too much, and that is absolutely insane. By the way, the way some of these people talk online about virgin blood and all that's going back to Dracula. I'm just telling you, getting real dangerous out here.
And ain't nobody jealous of nothing. I ain't jealous of crazy people. Okay, that is a dangerous game you want to play with yourself, BMT. But being jealous of crazy people.
Oh, that's a great lead into the next story, because somebody might have been jealous and they might have been crazy and fire might have been involved. But let's play the video.
You're attacking your mind. But nigga, it's me. I'm him. I'm not them. I'm him Jones. I'm him Duncan. I will beat a nigga ass and stomp him in my Timberlands.
Listen. In life, I get it. Competition is hard, right? Competition is very hard. I mean, sometimes it's so difficult that you have to go to the extreme to win. And I get it. Do whatever it takes to win. Mamba mentality. I appreciate you. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Listen, Michael Jordan, do whatever it takes to win. Sometimes we criticize athletes for not doing whatever it takes. Business is cutthroat. Everything is so bad that we just gotta do whatever we want. And this man right here owns bouncy houses. How does he win? How do you get the leg up on all your competition? We must find a way. Always find a way. You always must be better than everyone else. And if you don't, you gotta find a way. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. It's not, hey, listen, all those sayings are true. So let's go listen to this Melbourne, Australia man on how he overcame the obstacles of competition in business. Let's do it.
Dallas jumping castle operator has admitted to masterminding a string of arson attacks in a campaign to wipe out his rivals. James Balcombe orchestrated 10 attacks in a bid to become Melbourne's #1 party hire company.
I said do whatever it takes. I didn't say do illegal things to win. I didn't tell you to go do all of that. Now, nobody said do all that.
A jumping castle warehouse under attack from arsonists. The $1 million blaze instigated by a jealous rival.
It was all ashes. It was just a mess. I thought it was the end of the world.
Michael Andrew lost his business of 20 years when fellow party supplier James Balcombe ordered a mate to burn it down.
Listen. Competition is actually healthy. I don't want to be implicated in this, because if somebody rival, I'll be there, and then all of a sudden something burned down. It wasn't on me. It was Ruby. It was 100% Ruby. It wasn't me. Ruby did it. I told her don't do stuff like that. She does it anyway. My bad. I try to stop her. Don't implicate me. I'm snitching. I'm a civilian.
Balcombe has pleaded guilty to orchestrating 10 attacks on competitors during the summer of 2017. A court told he became obsessed with being the best. He became obsessed with outdoing his rivals.
I don't know how y'all feel about this, because this is weird. Like, I get being obsessed. I get everything this is saying. Like, right, I'll be there to be the best news. Nobody doing it like us. Like and subscribe right now. But nobody's doing this competition. But look, I don't mean to set the world on fire in order to do it. You know what I mean? I don't mean to. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to do all that.
It was crazy. And then another guy in Werribee was attacked, and then bang, it was us, yeah. And just devastating.
The court heard Balcombe went to extreme lengths to cover his tracks. When word started spreading about the arson attacks, he organised for his own property to be set on fire, so he'd look like a victim too.
Listen. Hey, listen. When you hire for your own business to get caught on fire, so you don't get caught. Yo, this dude take competitive nature to a whole nother level. It's unhealthy. I used to say Michael Jordan was unhealthy. This is like doing old boy in the movie when he pulled a gun out and shot old boy because he beat him in basketball. This is that level of crazy. You took my scholarship. No, bro, you ain't gotta do that, dog. Just get better. Just try harder. Come up with a new business plan. Hire some new people. Something, bro. This is insane. In the end, you had to burn down your own business to make up for it. I mean, come on.
Balcom's bizarre behaviour didn't end there. In 2019, he skipped bail and disappeared. Police caught up with him in Perth, where he'd been living under a...
I got a question. Why are they blurring out their faces when we just seen the dude? Like, I understand the police, but why are they blurring out his face after we seen him? We just saw him. It was just shown. He was just there. Why are we blurring out his face?
Fake name and in disguise. Balcom's main accomplice has already been
White people, please do better depicting our wigs. Y'all like Tyler Perry picking wigs.
jailed for 8.5 years, but he could receive an even longer prison term when he's sentenced at a later date.
It was devastating, but you got to move on in life, you know.
Estelle Greepink, 7 News.
Listen, shout out to 7news.com. Go to their website, support them. Listen, this is insane. I get competitive nature, but I ain't never in my life wanted to just... Like, I always got hurt when, like, for instance, Billy was hurt. Billy Hamilton, one of my best friends from Taylorville. But I don't know if he's still my good. He's my boy. Forever my boy, but we ain't really hung out in a long time. So, but he been busy with his pro baseball life. But I'm not wishing him to get hurt or any rival I ever had, any of them, to get hurt because I want to win. No, I want to beat you while you healthy so I can be number one. That's like the most competitive thing you can do. Be number one by beating you who is supposed to be number one, not burning your building down to be number one. What extent of y'all, Shar? I know you'll do this. You and Ruby, I know what y'all doing. It's gonna be some YouTube channels burning down because y'all. I do appreciate it, but ain't nobody doing it like us. So, like, subscribe. Peace. Yo, it was some accusations levied by some guy that did a video for us. I don't know who that guy was.
You see how Zell treats me dirty? See, this is why you keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. I partnered with mine. You see what you see? You see? I hope everyone is learning. Okay, posse, listen up. No, I'm kidding. Now, here's the thing, right? It makes a really sad kind of sense because if you, and I don't know why people do this, right? Because people do this even in a place that like where business potential is unlimited, like online, right? Where you see all this jealousy and, you know, people trying to destroy each other's channels and whatever on YouTube, right? Because it's like they think there's like a limited amount of potential viewers. Like if you get subscribers and I can't have any, right? It's like not only do people share subscribers all the time, but like there's like billions and billions of people on the planet who have access to the internet, right? Like there's you being successful is not going to make me less successful, but some people see it that way, especially if they're really niche. And I would say like bouncy houses is really niche, right? Like how many possible bouncy houses would be rented, you know, especially when you think about the added expense, right? You're talking about maybe the top 50% of families maybe would ever in life rent one of these ever, right? So I'm thinking it's really niche, limited potential. So then if you just have one like business that was out longer than yours, that's better known, that has more selection, has more availability, has newer looking stuff, whatever it is, right? It would be really easy to like edge people out of that market and for it to be kind of become like a dominion of one. So I understand why he did it. Like, I mean, he should go to prison, obviously, right? But like, I do understand why he did it, sort of, yeah.
Listen, this is insane. The man should go to prison, but the fact that he willing to burn his own business down just so he don't get implicated is dedication to another level. That is some dedication that, like, listen, just so I don't get caught, I'm burning mine down too. Try to collect this insurance, try to get back. And we all even playing field now with nothing.
Right. Yeah. No, it's smart. It's smart. It's like, remember the Tylenol bottle situation where people were getting like basic Tylenol and then they were dying at home. And then they found out like people were being poisoned with cyanide. And it's because someone went and poisoned a whole bunch of Tylenol with cyanide so that way they could poison one person with the same cyanide, right? But like the only way that they could get away with it is if they had them hid themselves in with the other victims. That's what I mean. Like, it makes a sick kind of sense. And, you know, it's desperate people, losers, people who don't have the it factor. When you don't have the it factor, guys, no offense, but like, give up. Like, no offense. I'm not saying like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, if you're not going to just do it for the love of it, even if you'll never be successful, right? If you don't have the it factor, what you need to do is stop wasting your energy and move on to something you'll be better at. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone will be successful in something. You just got to find your own niche. Don't do this foolishness, because then you'll have nothing and be in prison. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of seems like, why? Why would you do this to yourself? Why?
I have no clue why he would do this. Is absolutely insane.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I was going to do like a cute little segue into the next stories, but I have no idea how to do that. So instead, what we're going to do, shout out to Char Willie for these ones. Okay. I will tell you, and you'll know when you get there, there's definitely a part of this that is just, it's barely even edited, because I really wanted my full unadulterated response to be clear. But let's check out what the heck is going on with Walgreens with the next stories coming up.
My name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what? You know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Y'all, sometimes we have to recognize a simple fact. Not all change is progress. And not all progress is worthwhile. Sometimes it's hard to tell in the moment whether or not something that you're looking at is going to be a worthwhile type of change. That we're even going to call it progressive. Well, y'all, before we get started with this story, we have a shout out to do. So thank you so much, and shout out to Char Willie for this story. Yeah! Y'all, this one, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Let's find out how we feel about it together.
They're calling it a streamlined shopping experience. Walgreens just unveiled a radical redesign of its location in the South Loop. There are just 2 aisles, and nearly all the merchandise is being kept out of sight. CBS 2's Suzanne Lemonnier takes us there and shows us what shoppers are saying about it.
It's billed as a better Walgreens. This South Loop Walgreens is at 2 East Roosevelt Road. It looks much different than your regular Walgreens. You can still buy snacks, drinks, and vitamins off the shelf. Customers can also pick up items they've ordered online. But most products are out of sight. Walgreens calls this a digital-first experimental store.
Whoa, so this is totally different. No big displays or checkout counters.
Walgreens created this Instagram post touting.
All right, so if y'all don't yet see the issue that I'm seeing, right? Why would you need a store if you can't shop at it? Like, as crazy as that might sound, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, right? But you have Amazon, which will deliver things to your door without you even having to try, right? So why are you going? I mean, you think about it, right? The website allows you to search through all of the products, right? In the comfort of your own home, at your own leisure, right? On your own time. If you have Amazon Prime, you're not even really paying for the service of getting same day, next day delivery, right? And you can look through way more products from way more sources than a store like, say, for example, Walgreens, who have particular brands, but they don't have everything. That's for sure, right? And they're also limited in the things that they carry. To me, I'm already confused there, because I don't see why you would go to a store that you can't shop at. Like, if everything is out of sight, then don't you need to know everything offhand? Like, I would have to know exactly what I'm looking for. And then there's like you're taking away my ability to impulse buy. you're taking away my ability to examine the differences between the 700 different brands, right? Leisurely at my own pace. You know, I don't see what the benefit is, because for me as a customer, right, the only benefit or the only difference and benefit really there would be to shopping in store. And the reason why I like shopping in store is because I like that hands-on experience. I like being able to go and browse visually, also tactilely with all of the products, to be able to look at them, compare them. I can see what the different sizes are. I can see what the different, you know what I mean? Like, I literally, when I go to a store, I walk up and down every single aisle, even if I only really came there for one thing. I often end up buying way more than one thing, but still. So to me, so far, this seems stupid. This is like almost like a guaranteed way to shut down the brick and mortar store and just put everything online, pretty much, because how are you selling all of the majority of your products if people can't see them impulsively, just as they're glancing around? Oh yeah, that's right, I should pick up some Band-Aids. Oh yeah, that's right, I should buy some whatever, right? I don't know. Let's keep looking.
The new location at Roosevelt and State.
It's like a mini Walgreens, so you can just pop in, get what you need, and then hit self-checkout.
The things you don't see on the shelves, like cosmetics, alcohol, and gift cards, can only be purchased through this touchpad kiosk. Those items are in a store fulfillment area. It's off limits to those who are shopping. Once ordered, the customer can pick the items up from an employee at a counter specifically for kiosk and online orders.
How would you know what cosmetic color you need if you can't visually see it? Again, this is one of the reasons why I prefer to shop in store, because there's some things, screens vary in the color intensity and whatever, right? Undertones and whatever is important, especially for Black people, right? The majority of cosmetics were not specially designed for our undertones, for our skin tones. And so to be able to just hold your hand up next to a product, if you're not going to get testers, which we don't anymore because of the Rona, right? To at least be able to hold it up and say, okay, that kind of goes. Oh, let me read this. Let me smell this. Let me whatever. Like, what? But like the cough syrups, those we can have out there. Like, who cares that you can, make meth out of cough syrup? Like, who cares, right? Every single brand of cough syrup can still be widely available, right? But then, the other things that it might actually be useful and necessary to be in store before you purchase it. No. Okay.
It's just a really different setup.
Walgreens says digital shopping here is all about customer convenience. Well, those we spoke with said they really prefer shopping the traditional way.
So I think it kind of takes away that browsing element that I like with shopping.
It's also not convenient
and
at all.
Also sometimes I'm just in a rush and I don't want to wait for somebody else to grab things for me.
I didn't know where anything was. I didn't know where to go to check out, who I needed to talk to get what I needed to do. I just did. It was different.
So you didn't even end up buying anything?
No.
Wow.
I bought nothing.
And see, that's a really good point as well, right? Because a lot of your younger generation, Gen Z and whatever, right? They're tending to purchase, even my generation, right? The millennial generations were buying everything online. So the people that, you're kind of, in a way, seriously disadvantaging the 50 plus demographic, even though they are your bread and butter. They're the reason why brick and mortar still really, really has to be open. So then if you just turn that into a technological wonderland, again, without any ability for them to be able to do the thing that they've been doing to purchase stuff for years, for decades, then how are they going to be able to take care of themselves and to be able, come on, especially if they don't have family or close by family to walk them through it, to hold their hand. Apparently you don't have any employees on the floor to help them through it, to walk them through it, to hold their hand. And if y'all remember, well, I don't know about y'all. I can't say. I can say for sure, in the GTA, when we got the self-checkout, there's one person there right now. There's always someone there to kind of monitor in case something goes wrong and whatever, right? And they also press some button if they think you're stealing, but whatever. There used to be a lot of people at self-checkout, and they would literally walk customers through it, right? Because we were young, whether you're young or old or whatever, this was a brand new thing to be able to do. So we needed help. What they've done is they've ignored the fact that the older demographic, again, never bothered with self-checkout at grocery stores and stuff like that. They would just stand in that line forever to get a real cashier, right? And so there's a learning curve that would still be required for a large segment of the population that they're just skipping over. Oh, well, who cares? And this is like Walgreens. Okay.
The Walgreens Instagram post, one person wrote, "Crime. This is because of crime."
Probably.
The chain says this is not about trying to stop theft.
Whoa.
Another person said of the new store concept, "It's the future."
It's not the future.
Suzanne Lemignot, CBS 2 News.
See, so what do y'all think? Right? Is this progress? Is this change? Is this going to be the future? Because the way that I see it, I'm not so sure that it would be a good thing. I think you could technically, sort of, kind of, maybe convert to something sort of like this, maybe, kind of, or like a drive-through option, but like in 50 years, you know what I mean? Like when the millennials are aging, right? The young Gen Xers are now up at that older age, and you want to turn everything technological, sure, but until you have the older, like, we still have the older Gen Xers, we still have boomers, like, dude, I don't know. Blew my mind. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really think that sometimes we'd like to do a whole lot of change, and we confuse change with progress. And y'all are lying to yourselves and to everybody if you're pretending this has nothing to do with theft, which is why things like makeup items and other opportunistic theft type things are not available. Let's keep it back. Come on.
A few moments later.
What? No. Girl, you ain't getting me today. Okay, I don't believe you on this one. There is no way. Y'all, we're taking you back. With another one, and shout out to Shar Willie again tonight. This one is thanks to her. Y'all, there's no way. I must have read this wrong. I must have read this title wrong. Listen, this is going to be a genuine reaction. I haven't even opened it. I just see the title, and it's something that Shar and I covered on article reactions. Okay, this was one of Shar's articles, and she said they lost the lawsuit. I know exactly what lawsuit she must be talking about, but she can't be talking about that lawsuit. She can't. Let's take a look.
Starting this summer, Illinois will receive about $518 million over 15 years as a result of opioid settlements. Attorney General Kwame Raoul announced the settlements involving two drug makers, CVS and Walgreens. The majority of the state's money will go to the Illinois Remediation Fund to be used for rehab and recovery centers throughout.
I want you to think about what they're saying here, okay? This is why I said there's no way they can win. There's no way. So Walgreens, the ones we just talked about in the last story, okay? Walgreens, CVS. These are stores that sell medications. They have pharmacists within the store. But guess what? Pharmacists don't prescribe medications. Doctors do. Pharmacists have a legal and ethical duty to fill the script as the doctor wrote it. That is literally not their fault in any way, shape, or form. So to me, I was like, there's no way you're selling the pharmacy. Come on. That's dumb. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole. There's no way the pharmacy is going to be guilty. There's no way. There was no way. I can't eat Shar. I can't do it. I can't. Oh my gosh.
Throughout the state. If you or a loved one needs help, there is an Illinois hotline. It's 833-2FIND-HELP. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Now, I'm just saying, is it at all connected? That first, Walgreens is doing something that, I don't know, to me almost looks like they're trying to shut down their business. Like, what is happening? But no, they're just penny pinching. And then we see, I can't even believe this. I can't believe this. They must be challenging this. They must be, right? Like they have to be. There's no way, bro. I can't at all. Thank you, Shar, for this one. Nope, I can't. I can't, America. I can't. I cannot with y'all anymore. No. Mm-mm.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what? You know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
No, I can't. I can't. No. No, I can't. Because you don't understand. I told Shar when we did this story, I was like, bro, there's no way. Because the pharmacists don't write the prescription, right? The pharmacists are not the ones who get visits from, you know, these reps and stuff and da-da-da. The pharmacy is required to carry all of these prescription medications, and pharmacists are required to fulfill it as doctors write it. How did the pharmacy have to pay out millions? That makes no sense. America makes no sense. America makes no sense. I'm done. I was so sure I would have bet my entire life savings, my house, my car, my kids. I would have bet everything that suing Walgreens and CVS was a waste of time in the opioid epidemic. Oh my God. Bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shar, you were right. I was wrong. I'm sorry. America is wild. America's wild. This is amazing. Amazing.
Listen, I have a big beef with the pharmaceutical companies. I can see hundreds of ways you can sue them. To me, this one doesn't make sense. You can't sue them for like prescriptions that somebody else gave them to sue them. Now, price gouging, you can 100% sue them for price gouging. But this, especially in America,
not even. No, how are you gonna sue Walgreens or CVS for price gouging? Because yes, that's what I mean. Walgreens and CVS got sued and they won against Walgreens and CVS. Are you how? Bro, there's not one part of this that they did. What did they do? Bro, America's wild. Like, no, this is just a corporation that has really deep pockets. So of course you want to sue them versus suing any individual, right? Or suing the individual doctor or the person who was running the pill mill who has no money, right? No, let's sue CVS. Let's sue Walgreens and make them liable because they have deep enough pockets to give us a 9-figure settlement. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I can't with America. It's the most litigious country, like, worldwide, and the settlements make less than 0%. And we're going to talk about that in another story coming up, by the way, about the unfairness of the settlements in America's litigious system. But this was wild. This was wild. I have nothing. I have nothing.
Listen, America they try to bait rich people into beating them up so they can get money. Listen, this is what you do here. This is you get bread by any means necessary. And we saw that in the previous story. By the way, the story we got next might be my favorite video I've ever done in my life. From all my channel, this video is insane. It's hilarious. And I was so confused throughout the video that I tried to be nice throughout the video until I just gave up. So let's go watch this. By the way, shout out to also Ruby for giving me a little bit more insight on it. So just watch. This is
myself years ago, and I want to teach you how to do this as well. First off, I want to just say that I think it's wildly inappropriate that we teach children that you should grow up and marry someone else one day, but never think to teach children that they should probably marry themselves first.
People are paying for this with money. They're paying for this voluntarily, watching this with their own time.
That's just my personal opinion. Now, I wear a ring, but you could do anything. You could wear a necklace, you could get a tattoo, just something to symbolize your marriage to yourself. P.S. I did this right after a breakup, and it was something really important I needed to do for myself. And something you probably need to do for yourself right now, too. And I encourage you to write vows to yourself. Think about the things that you want someone else to promise to you. Promise them to yourself. But I used the quite traditional vows. I told myself that I was going to love myself through richer and poorer, through sickness and health, through all shapes and sizes of this body, till death do I leave this body. And I renew these vows every so often because we need to. I'd love to hear some of the things that you want to say to yourself in your own vows, and let's normalize that.
Fucking they're attacking your mind!
In 4 years, you've been hanging in these shooting streets. Congratulations, you just earned your bachelor's degree. You wanna clap them cheeks? You wanna clap them cheeks?
Listen, despite this website, this news being kind of iffy, we're going to see. I do not know about One American News. Shout out to them, though, for giving me this story. Shout out to Tipping Point with Kara McKinney. I do not know, but One American News sounds spit. But this story is not about One American News. This is about Sologamy. Sologamy. CNN celebrates women marrying themselves. Okay, this is new to me. We're being educated together because I don't know what this is. I did read the CNN report that she's going to refer to. But so this is new to me too. I'm going to see what she says about it and we're going to go over. This is that way I can maybe disagree because I don't know how much I can disagree with her.
Here's a new term for you this Pride Month to add to the list of a gazillion others: sologamy. It's a term for those who marry themselves as a form of self-love. It's not a reference to autosexuality, which is the sexual attraction to oneself, though I'm sure there is some crossover there because everyone seems to be a degenerate freak these days, but I...
Oh yeah, she one of those. She one of those degenerate freaks. She one of those people. Okay, I just want to know what we working with. By the way, is this women's incel behavior? Is this what women incels give? Like, it's not even, but it's like technically it's harder for a woman to be an incel technically because like it's dudes that will sleep with anything. But once you don't want to just sleep with anything, but you like, yo, I can't get the people I want, so this is what I go to. Is this their version? Do we have to go on a deep dive on this too? I'm interested. Let me know what y'all think about this.
I digress. Every time you think we finally scraped the bottom of the barrel, we find a new rock bottom to hit. Did you know that when you put the words Pride Month together, that the word demon is formed in the middle? I'm not making that up. That's why we need to make sure to reclaim this month for the Sacred Heart of Jesus, for whom it truly belongs. Because as I've talked about before, God...
All right. We know what this is. All right, let's go to the real story. We know what that was. We understood what that was. Okay. Okay, we know what that was. Okay, y'all can just argue with her. Go to One American News Network and argue with her. But this is what the story is. These women want a symbolic expression of self-love, so they married themselves. Okay, let's go read the CNN story. Girl perfectly heard, broken and hurt, crooned artist SMYL in falsetto. Shake off the night and don't hide your face. It was wrist wedding, but they were beaming partner. Waiting at an altar, wearing a rose-colored dress, the 34-year-old read her vows alone in front of a mirror in her backyard. She'd accept her own proposal and give herself a ring. Instead of a spouse, a red velvet cake awaited her next to a bottle of champagne. I'm trying not to be a judgmental person. I've learned not to be judgmental or anything and let people do them. I'm happy for this lady. But eating cake at a wedding in which you recited vows to a mirror is very weird. By the way, I understand. I had a phase too when I was 16. I had a six-pack of playing football. I finally got good at football. I was pretty strong, stout dude. I just hurt my MCS, so I wasn't playing. So I looked in the mirror and just told myself I was a handsome, sexy man. Yes, my ego is very inflated. Sometimes it still is. But this case right here, it's like when you just go all the way, when it's just fully there. And I'm okay with it, but at the same time, I think it might be, I wonder how they went to therapy. Because at this point, it's like, I'm worried that this is, like, I feel like most of this, even though it's an older lady that we're going to talk about, the 55-year-old lady up here, this lady right here, she wanted to get remarried because she wanted to have it done after her husband died, and I think that's okay. In some of these cases, I think okay. This one seems a bit of I'm over the hill-ish in my mind. So I always want to have a wedding, so I'm gonna do it regardless. And I don't know if that's mentally healthy. I'm not a therapist in any way. I don't know. I'm psychoanalyzing, which I don't typically do, but at the same time, I worry about these things. That's just my worry, because it might not be true at all. Wrist said I do to herself and committed to loving herself, for better or worse. I vowed to never sell or abandon myself in a romantic partnership ever again. She told herself to a reflection in the mirror, I vow to honor my calling, live my life as a work of art. Wrist did not have an officiant or guest at her self wedding, because I don't know why you would. and toast herself at a solo reception. Months before the event, which she calls a soul commitment ceremony, she had separated from her son's father after 9 years. She started working on healing her inner self, taking a vow of celibacy, and signed up for therapy. Oh, she did go therapy. Maybe this is one method they told her to do. Maybe they said maybe she had so much self-doubt in herself that she had to do something like this. Because I'm just to a normal person, this does not look normal. I'm not gonna go degenerate like that crazy lady at the beginning because we gotta take them back to country to bar the heart of Jesus because we gonna kill all these demons in Pride Month. You know how they do. But at the same time, I still think this is awfully odd. But at the same time, like I said, it could be therapy. She did just leave her baby daddy, apparently. I realized that in a relationship with other people, I wasn't fully showing up and loving myself through the process, which made it really difficult to receive love from others, she said. We pour all this time, money in to marry other people. We don't ever pour back into ourselves. I don't think you have to marry yourself to do this. It's a good revelation, by the way. I completely agree with this, but I think that maybe it's a step in the right direction. I'm trying to be as charitable as I can to this, because I think it's just like a dramatic. This is just me being honest. Okay, I try to be understanding. This is just really dramatic. Like everything I agree with in this whole sentence about loving yourself, doing everything for yourself, is true. I 100% agree with it. But I think taking that step to look in the mirror by yourself, eat velvet cake, drink champagne, and talk to yourself in the mirror and give yourself a ring, I think that's just over dramatic. But some people might need that. By the way, like I said, I don't have a problem with the older lady doing it. I don't know if I'm gonna get to that story today, but when she did it, I was like, okay, she just wanted to have another wedding. She remembered a good time with her husband after he passed. Okay. The concept of self-marriage or sologamy has been around for years. In the Sex and the City episode that aired in 2003, Carrie Bradshaw seeks revenge on a frenemy by telling her that she's marrying herself and is registered as a luxury shoe store, Manolo Blanc. No data exists on how many people celebrate sologamy with ceremonies, but the practice has been explored in a handful of recent news articles. CNN talked to 4 women who married themselves. They described the act as symbolic expression of self-love and an affirmation of deep, meaningful relationship with oneself. They also say it has nothing to do with swearing off future partnership with a spouse, which is a popular misconception. I never did it. I just think, like I said, it's a expressive thing. I just think it's extra. Some people are extra. I just think it's do they take pictures? Because if you did it solo, maybe. If you took a bunch of pictures, like, look, I got married, I don't think it's weird. But I'm a judgmental freak. Just a minute. Oh, this lady had this black lady, shout out to this queen. Body image coach Danny Adams had planned to marry herself several years ago. She wanted a big party filled with people she loved, but the pandemic hit and she postponed her plans. Instead of a wedding, she turned to a therapist to focus on improving her self-esteem. Oh, that's it. I'm telling you, it's a self-esteem thing. It's a self-esteem thing. It took a couple of years to really invest in myself, going to therapy, really digging deep into what it means to break generational curses, process drama since Adam now 30. Then I really felt good about myself. I told the therapist, I think I might get married to myself. And so she did. Before about 40 guests in December at an outdoor venue in Sanford, Florida. Of course, shout out to Florida. Adams walked down the aisle, sung Self-Love by Jason Lyric, which contains the line, I've been working on me, I had to learn to love myself. Listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. You can do what you want. But the wedding cost about $4,000 and 9 bridesmaids and a friend officiated like Riz. She read the vows in a full-length. Don't invite me to this. I'm just not going to go. Oh, but this lady right here. Dorothy Fideli never remarried after her divorce nearly 5 decades. So it was divorced, it wasn't passed away. But this month at age 77, she married herself in front of her 3 children and 2 dozen people at her retirement home in Goshen. Fideli wore a white gown and short veil and a white sneakers, and she pushed a decorated walker down the aisle. Her favorite song, Celine Dion's Because You Love Me, played in the background. I felt beautiful, like I had won the lottery or something. I felt like a queen. I felt important to myself, like I was somebody. It's hard to explain the feeling you had to have to feel it in your soul. Fideli had never worn a bridal dress. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I said this. Okay, I got the story confused. I do apologize. Sometimes I get stories confused. I've been doing this late at night. I have a bunch of family reunions. But this is the thing. I was okay. She never got a chance to wear it. She's 77. She had kids. She divorced her. She didn't have a wedding. So she wanted a wedding at 77 years old. 77 years old. She wanted to finally do it. Listen, no problem with that. I don't think this is self-esteem. It's just some people dream of having moments and they might not ever have them. This 80-year-old man can't walk good, but he want to go to a basketball game. Let him go to a basketball game. Woman 77-year-old never wore bride's dress. Bride's dress. Let her wear a bride's dress. I'm not upset at things like that. Again, still talking to a mirror and you love yourself. It's weird. I did it, but I did it when I was 16, so I'm weird too. I get it. Let me know y'all thoughts on this. There's a few more of them. She married herself. She planned her. Ina Jones married herself on her 50th birthday in September 2020. The 3 dozen guests thought they were attending a milestone birthday. Then she emojis in the tear and kneeling white dress carrying a bouquet of sunflower, walking down the aisle on the arm of her husband's father, a 3-tiered chocolate cake. Shout out to Ina Jones. We're going to leave off that story. And I appreciate y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts. Do you agree with this? Do you think it's over dramatic? Is there cases you agree with it? I agree with it in cases. I think some of it is stuff. It might actually help your confidence. I think it's ultimately unnecessary, but at times I'm a confident person. So I cannot judge this. Don't invite me to it. I still think it's weird in my head. I'm not going to lie to you and pretend like I'm not. I'm not one of these people. But love yourself. Grab my like and subscribe. Peace. Listen. Ruby, was your father-in-law a velvet cake?
No.
That was literally, I stopped and gave up on the whole. I'm like, no, not adding no more. That's it. I don't have to read it no more. That was the strangest. Like, she walked down the aisle with a velvet cake, not a chocolate cake. Thoughts, Ruby?
Well, I mean, to begin with, though, I think that's not really the issue, because people do all kinds of different things in their weddings that are not traditional because they don't have traditional things. So they might not have both living parents or even one living parent, or they might have a terrible relationship with those parents, or their parents might not support them for some reason. So to me, like, it's not the details. I don't really care about the details of the weddings. It's the fact that you cannot call a celebration of yourself, in essence, a wedding, right? A wedding is literally about 2 people becoming one. It's about you combining your families, your resources, your bodies, your souls together and becoming one. It's about you making a proclamation to the world that that's what you have done. You're leaving your parents, you're cleaving onto each other, you're forsaking all other possible options and whatever, and y'all are going to do this thing called life together, for better or worse, in sickness and health, till death do you part, right? So to me, just in and of itself, what you claim that you're going to be pledging as a single person marrying yourself, you're not pledging you're not going to date other people. You're not pledging that you're not going to marry someone else. You're not pledging that you're only going to sleep with yourself for the rest of your life. Like, it's not a marriage, right? Like, and to me, there are definitely names for things that you could do if you want to celebrate yourself, right? So like quinceañeras, right? That is a thing, or, bat mitzvah. That's basically what it is. It's a wedding for yourself, right? Birthday parties, but there's other types of rites of passage you could do that is made for you and yourself, and so that's why it's like people just bastardize the word marriage, and this is bastardizing the word marriage, right? They say, oh, when 2 men or 2 women want to marry, that's bastardizing marriage. No, because that's actually marrying somebody, right? Marrying yourself is not marrying somebody. That is what bastardizes the concept of marriage, and it's like, why even bother then if this is what it is to you?
True. But they did it quicker, and I wonder if there are divorce rate stats on this. Well, you start hating yourself and then just be like, it's over. I'm marrying myself, taking the ring off. By the way, this question, DJ Music, you want to know the answer? It's called they use the rose. That's all hey, listen, that's what I'm guessing. That's the only thing I'm guessing. Ruben, am I right or wrong? Is that how they consummate? Because I don't know about
How would I know, first of all? Second of all, men and women are marrying themselves, just to be clear. So I don't know. I guess the way you consummate that but different. But see, this is my whole point, right? Even what the word consummate means, it doesn't just mean getting gratification, right? Like there's a thing to this. So I don't know. To me, it definitely bothers me. The divorce rate. Here's the thing, and this is why I think it's stupid, right? Because like, there's no even when people like marry their car because they fell in love with their car or whatever, at least you're marrying something else. There's an objective or fictosexuals who marry something else. It's not themselves, right? Then you would require some type of, even if it's like a weird, you would still require some type of ending of the relationship, right? There would have to be a ceremony, but you don't end a relationship with yourself, right? Like, unless you like have multiple personality disorder, like what are you doing with combining all your personalities, consummating them together? Like, it's stupid. It's just really dumb. It is the dumbest thing ever. I'm so done. Like, no, it's not marriage.
I
It's
quit
just
too.
not.
I quit too. I'm sorry. I was like, okay, this is.
Yeah, sorry, not marriage. But y'all, I have something way stranger, and I'm not even like, I know like we like to like over exaggerate sometimes. No, I don't. I'm really bad at things like that. But it could be an over exaggeration, but it's not, y'all. This is probably one of the oddest things I have ever seen, besides Dennis Rodman in a dress. Thank you for reminding me about that, Don Teasy. I thought I had forgotten that, blocked it out. But yeah, no, you brought it back into my mind. So thank you for ruining my childhood again. But no, definitely. This is probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Creeps me all the way out. Definitely makes me worry about the future. Good luck, y'all. I'm going to close my eyes through this one. Guys, ever feel like sometimes science fiction is a little more fiction than science? Well, I'm just saying, with these advances that we're making day in, day out when it comes to AI and robotics, honestly, the two are starting to kind of flip around. And now things that were once imagined to be pretty much only fiction are definitely more and more science. And I got something creepy for y'all. I do. It creeps the crap out of me. Let's take a look here. What is a modular body? Well, Oscar is a modular body. Who or what the heck is this monstrosity called Oscar? Well, let's first take a look, and then I'll give you a little bit more of an explanation, but...
We're looking at Oscar, the first human modular prototype that is able to live in various setups. What's going to happen is that I'm going to connect the brain to the heart modules to activate the blood circulation.
Okay. So you're getting what you're saying. You're saying this is the brain, okay? This is the heart module, okay? So pretty much what it is each one of the things, the major components of life that you need is a module, right? And so he's got a brain module, now you connected it to the heart module. Okay, that's giving us what? It's giving us blood flow. Okay, this is crazy. It's like plug and play. It's like a plug and play human. Okay.
Now, the lung is going to start breathing. You can see both organs are now collaborating.
Look at that. Look at that. Yo, you can see it beating and you can see the lungs breathing.
I can add a kidney module. And if I add a limb module, it starts actuating the organism to move. Now it's looking for the optimal temperature, which is 37 degrees.
What?
If I add another limb,
oh no, I can't take the other limb.
Oscar will recognize it
and
beneficiate from new possibilities.
Yo, that's not okay. Bro, what? No. Nope. I'm gonna sit there and let y'all look at this horror show. So let's. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! I didn't watch the. I didn't watch the video first. Oh God! Holy crap! Bro, that is scary. Okay, so biologist Cornelis Vlasman envisions the human body as a working biological Lego system, in essence, right? And his clickable system of interchanging human organs is coming to life. If you're willing to define life fairly loosely, and you're willing to suspend reality for a bit. Okay, so remember we were talking about fiction versus science. So in a fictional experiment, Vlasman created Oscar, a living, organic being formed from his own cells. Bro, like it was made out of living cells. Albeit one that functions with the help of technology. And if having a pocket-sized human system crafted from organic material wasn't interesting enough, Oscar is fully modular. And so each part is interchangeable to create unique arrangements. Now, it does, obviously, I mean, that was just a horror show. You know what? I'm gonna play it again. This is absolutely just a horror show to me. Like, this is probably the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my entire live long life, right? Now, this video was actually unearthed from a few years ago, shockingly. Now, Vlasman, this guy in the video, right, shows off how his brain module, which is a fully electric device, connects to his lung module, right? The two immediately start interacting together. He adds in the kidney module and then attaches two different limb modules that start actuating the organism to move. As the organic matter starts sliding across the table, it makes you start to worry that what Oscar is up to and what's actually possible in the future. No, it made me just want to run away. It was like an insect. It was like seeing like some mix between animals and insects come to life and start coming for me. You know what I mean? We all know how much Ruby loves insects or animals or any living things. Like, bro, this is now, what is the benefit, okay? Vlasman says that this prototype with the bloodstream and nerve signals even transmitted throughout the connectors changes the human body from a closed system to an open source system. So, if an organ gets ill, you can easily replace it with a new one, he says, while suggesting you could upgrade the body with an extra limb module if desired. The modular body will become alterable and adaptable to all kinds of situations. The experiment shows off the power of stem cell research for morphing into human tissue, all while highlighting the interaction between technology and the human body. For Oscar to work, it takes far more than just cells, as the modules in Vlasman's experiment require an electric brain to operate. Instead of printing organs with the focus on identical copies for spare parts, maybe we do something different altogether. Maybe we turn science fiction into reality. And yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we did. And so, I mean, what is the benefit? Is the benefit... I mean, no one's explained that. I guess we don't really know. Sometimes, I guess, with some biological sciences, we make the advancement first and then see what we could do with it. I don't know. It seems to me as though probably the benefit could be that you could literally just have an entire you. Just make yourself, you're like, oh, I really like me at 30, and just have a whole you made at 30. And then I guess, I don't know, as you need to replace 30-year-old you parts or 16-year-old you parts, you just swap them out. I guess, modularly. Would that work? I mean, is that the point? Are we supposed to be able to use these let's say that that's not the creepiest limb you've ever seen, right? Like, if it was a reasonable limb, would we then be able to, obviously the electric brain, would our brain be able to power this? I don't know. Maybe some research needs to be done, but certainly it is absolutely fascinating they were able to do this modular being, right? Blows my mind. Like, this is beyond AI. This is beyond AI. This is next level. This is absolutely next level. And when you this is literally something from a horror movie, and it's for real. Like, I Bro, I don't think I want to live on this planet anymore. Like, yo, let me off on the next star. Real talk. Like Mars maybe, or bro, I can't. I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think though, because again, this is very, very real. Yo, I know. Nope. Mm-mm. Yo, it knows it's learning. Do you see it's learning? It's learning. No, I can't. Nope, done, nope. It's funny the order, that you record things sometimes, because, I hadn't recorded the rich guy stuff before I did this story. This was the very first story I recorded this week. So, Rosalind, you're absolutely right. Buddy's staying 18 right now. Here's the problem though. He hasn't even branched into this, because as y'all heard, this video was several years old. Right. But, and the rich guy interview was like literally within the last year. So he didn't mention anything about this. Right. Which makes you then wonder to yourself, he's already stuck on bloodletting his own kid and whatever. Right. Like, can he switch gears, or is he just going to keep bloodletting his kid? I don't know. In the meantime, though, like, I don't even know what to ask. I don't know, Zell. It's like, bro, that's some horror. Oh my God.
Listen, all I know is incels is up. They are ready. The world is changing for them. They have AI. They have modular body parts. They can replace it. Oh, it's over it. They take over movements. They swarming around. Listen, everything up. Rich people and incels is up.
Bro, do you see it was learning? See, because Don TZ was mentioning earlier how the arms are like they're not equal, but it's because he plugged one limb into one piece, right? Like, so he plugged one limb into the lung module and he plugged the other limb into the heart module. He's basically trying to prove that it's all plug and play, and it doesn't matter what order you put things in, you can just put things anywhere, right? So you don't have to make like a human body the way we're set up for it to work. And then you notice it was learning how to make coordinated movements with its two limbs. Bro, that's why I was done. When I slowed it down and really saw it was making coordinated movements, I understood why I crawled out of my skin the first time, and I was done, right? Like, it's just like, yo, it's not science fiction anymore, y'all. That's just reality. That's just scratching the surface of what's really going on. Because, they don't let us see everything that's really going on. So you might combine that with the scary stuff we know is happening with AI. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, y'all. It's not as far away as we think it is.
Listen, we are giving AI bodies now. It's literally a plug at the top of the thing to make it move. It's AI with bodies now. And 42% of CEOs said they think that AI will end us by 2033. And I'm like, well, why do y'all keep making it then? Y'all do realize you can stop.
Well, yeah, but they don't have to pay AI. If they could just, fund their entire workforce with AI that doesn't function with money or have needs like that, then they don't have to pay any of us poor schmucks, right? So the top 1% don't care about any of that. Top 1% are going to stay top 1%. They don't care about us down here, okay? First of all. Second of all, nobody listened to Don TZ, just so we're all clear, because if you missed it, it's made out of human cells, okay? The man used his own cells to make skin, okay? To make Oscar the creepy little slither snake thing, okay? So no, you're not going to barbecue it, nor, because it would be cannibalism. The creepiest version of cannibalism I've ever heard of in my life. So let's not ever listen to Don TC about that foolishness ever again. I am absolutely done. Zell, move us on to any other subject. Don't even care.
Let's talk about something evil, but more mainstream, and it's called politics. So let's go to it.
Perfect.
I'm required by law of my own law making to give y'all politics, but I want to make politics fun for y'all. I want y'all to understand politics in a fun way. So shout out to my guy right here. I want to give him a shout out. Link will be in the description. The politic plug, go follow him right now. Matter of fact, I will do it on stream so y'all will see me do it. This dude is very smart, so I might not always agree with him, but he's a smart dude and he understands. And of course, we got our friend Dr. Umar. He's up here to tell us not to vote. So I found this video and I want to go over and review it and talk about it because we need to be able to vote. And I need to show you why not voting hurts you. Again, from redistricting to all kind of illegal things that people do to make sure your vote counts less. If you don't vote, you will allow that. And by the way, that is not done by Joe Biden. That's not done by Donald Trump. That's not done by any of them. That is done on your local level. The government, the federal government cannot, I repeat, cannot redistrict. The Senate cannot redistrict. The state government can barely do it. It's your local officials and the state government. If they get together and enough of them, they can redistrict the whole thing. But mostly your local people start organizing and then they submit and then the state Senate agrees. Then they redistrict your whole thing. But let's let him explain why, and let's go over why Dr. Umar is wrong. Let's go.
To influence the political process is to not participate in it in one election cycle and let the power structure see your power.
So what Umar...
Before you get in that, that's a horrible idea. I'm going to let my boy do it instead of me. So I'm going to go over what he says behind it.
I just described is what I would call a dummy mission. Set up to fail from the get-go, but y'all run with these same talking points every election season. So let's get it.
Don't give the Democrat your vote. Show them that you will no longer be taken advantage of.
If you sound like Umar and you not voting because you want to prove a point to Democrats, cool. Because that means your ass shouldn't be voting in the first place. I don't do the whole our ancestors fought for our right to vote back and forth. I look at voting the same way I look at opinions. Yes, everybody has a right to win, but if it's ill-informed or misinformed, you can keep that to yourself. Sit this one out.
Yeah.
That's facts. That is very much, I agree with that. Listen, I don't let uninformed opinions bother me. I don't let it, right? Because if you let it fester too much, they tend to like take over. And then why are you arguing so hard if it's wrong? You know it's the truth. The Matrix is out to get me. Bro, you live in a trailer in Mississippi making $4,000 a year on welfare. The government is not out to get you. They don't even care about you. They're the reason you're surviving, sir. I don't know why you're so upset.
You may have to deal with a Republican president for 4 years, but guess what? The Democrats haven't been no walk in the park either.
Y'all complicate the simple shit with this played out ass script. Not voting does more damage to local government, local communities than it does the Democrats that y'all trying to punish, because it's local government, not the White House, not Congress that controls our access to public goods, services, and resources. So instead of beefing with Democrats, we need to prioritize addressing how we are severely underrepresented in local positions of power.
He finna go over some stats real quick, but I just want to go over this too on why what he said. I want a litmus test to all you, because the worst thing you can do is not understand the processes you are in. Do you know what your chancery clerk does? Do you know what your circuit clerk does? Do you know what your mayor does? Do you know what your sheriff does? Do you know what your school board does? Do you actually know what they do? Do you know? Because I can prove something right now. Who makes the laws in this country? I'm gonna give you time. If you said president, you are wrong. You need to be politically educated. Not that you're dumb, because they don't teach this in school. They don't bother to teach you. Why? Because if you know more about the process, you probably would change your vote. The legislative, Congress and Senate makes the laws. The president executes the laws by making it official. And the only reason the president is even involved in this process is a check and balance. Let's continue with the video.
In his Ballad of the Bullet speech, Malcolm X argued that we as black people needed to mature politically and understand the purpose of voting.
Speech,
we have to get everybody in Harlem registered, not as Democrats or Republicans, but registered as independents. There won't be a door in Harlem that will not have been knocked on to see that whatever black face lives behind that door is registered to vote. Nobody will have an excuse not to be registered. We'll ask him, let us see your card. If you don't have the sense of responsibility to get registered, we'll move you out of town.
When these so-called black voices are telling y'all not to vote to spite a political party, we are playing a childish game, and it does nothing to improve our situation.
This is 100% facts, by the way. By the way, this is a great speech by Malcolm X. A lot of times y'all speak on Malcolm X, but don't know what the brother said. A lot of times y'all speak on Martin Luther King and don't know what the brother said. So y'all don't know how he felt about voting. Like, why we vote? Why do I need to vote? You need to vote. He telling you if you don't vote or you don't register to vote as an independent, kick you out. Y'all know he doesn't like Democrats or Republicans. He's saying, I'll kick you out. By the way, my thing to fix the whole problem, y'all won't do it. Nobody will. Now, I'm not talking about black people, I'm talking about in general. Is to every incumbent in Washington, D.C., vote everyone I'm out. I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat, vote everyone I'm out. And I'm not even saying vote for the opposite party. I'm just telling you vote somebody else in. That way, when everyone gets voted out, it's a statement to them that we ain't playing with y'all no more. But that process still requires you to vote. That's my theory. I can change everything. Why? Because if everybody get voted out, that means, they not playing with us no more. Even if you like the person you got, you have to make that sacrifice in order to change something. Because if you don't do it, that person will feel justified.
It's going to be the ballot or the bullet. After we get our people registered, we can then organize that voting strength and channel it in the direction that will get immediate results for the benefit of our people. We can sweep our enemies right out of office.
So when Umar brings up stuff like the school to prison pipeline, all you got to do is ask who's responsible.
Listen.
People with his script will say, blame the Democrats. That does nothing for you. We should be scrutinizing local elected prosecutors and school board members regardless of party affiliation. Let's talk about what matters. Data from the National School Board Association shows that 79% of school board members are white. We also have data that shows that 95% of elected prosecutors are white. Why does this matter for black students? Because government data proves that black students are disciplined at higher rates than their classmates. They only make up 15% of the student population, but make up 23% of students suspended. And it all makes...
How many of y'all have ever seen a kid do the same thing as another white kid? And all of a sudden, that same white kid gets off way lighter. Like, that kid will get suspended. This white kid will just get, like, your mom get telling you.
Makes sense when we look at the research that shows that white school board members are more than likely to adopt policies that are harmful to non-white students. But it's good news too. It's data that shows that having more black people on the school board leads to more equitable policies for marginalized students. On top of the research that proves that black district attorneys reduce disparities in arrests and in incarceration. See, this is how you have a conversation about voting without prioritizing political parties. So if you don't want to vote to get back at Democrats, that is perfectly cool. We could do with less ill-informed, one-dimensional voters. Thank you for sitting this one out.
Listen. 100% true. Follow my brother. I don't know what this video is right here. I ain't watched that one, but yeah, just follow that because my brother be spitting sometimes. Don't agree with everything he say, but he be spitting sometimes. And usually he know what he talking about. He brings statistics and things. I appreciate that. Yo, listen, y'all just like, oh, I can't be Senate, be the mayor. My cousin, shout out to Angela. She's the mayor now. Guess what? We have businesses now. Why? Because she tried. Even my uncle went against it. They're trying. Black people trying. In the mostly white town, we have a black mayor. And the second and third place person, they were black too. We have black aldermen. All of a sudden, we got new businesses going around. We have 4 new stores since she's been here. We have people coming in. We have a energy renewal plant now that we didn't have before. She went for grants because she actually did her job. She knew to go to these meetings around the state when they give grants out and opportunities. She found grant writers. Why? She know what she's doing. Even though I don't know if she's the greatest at it. I ain't really watched as much she done, but I know she gets things done because she tried. Because effort is the one thing you don't want to lack in this world, because like I told you, if you don't even know what your local officials do and you don't know how to fix your life, you're already at a disadvantage. Your life could be so much better. You can have better jobs in your area by simply understanding what the local government doing. And by literally going to these meetings Tuesday, Monday, whenever they have them, once a month, and go in there and tell them, we need this in our city or town. Don't care if they're black or white. Because a lot of times even the black people don't know what they're doing. You gotta hold them their foot to the fire. See, when I did this in 2018, people got mad at me. I'm always about holding people's feet to the fire. Time to get to work. Time to get to work. Like, subscribe. Listen, like I said, most people don't know what the political process in their country is, and that's the biggest problem. Saying don't vote. Do you know what that did to black people in Mississippi, which is a 42% black state? It literally caused redistricting, where black people had to go 100 miles just to vote because they redistrict them to another area, making it harder for you to vote the next time. So Dr. Umar's idea of just not voting for Democrats literally made it harder for black people to vote the next time they voted. So sitting one term out made it much harder the next term. That's all local. They had nothing to do with the president.
That's because Umar's an idiot. And I don't know why. No, seriously. I mean, I've always had a beef with Umar since the second I found out who he is, before I even found these spaces, because he gives like, I already know what kind of swindler, snake oil salesman he is. He's the kind that adds confusion to the mix. And so I'm not surprised he's caused harm in this area of politics and voting, because he's caused harm in the area of therapy and the idea of people getting help, right? Because Umar was so busy trying to front for the gram and trying to get himself to look a certain way and whatever, he confused the issue of therapy, right? And so he's a school psychologist. He does not have a PhD in practicing psychology, right? He practices under his master's, but because, and most people do, the record, but because of him muddying the waters, now people don't understand or trust psychology again, right? So yeah, I'm not surprised he did this. And I'm not surprised he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And he just likes the buzzwords and whatever. And in the meantime, he's just sitting there smoking his drugs or whatever, allegedly, with his prostitutes, also allegedly, right? So I mean, like, bro, he's nobody. Where's the school? Forget any of this. Why is Umar talking about anything? I want to see Umar's school, because where's it at? Because a lot of black charter schools have been started. Where's Umar's? Before he's trying to tell people about what to do with voting. I don't understand.
Listen, I perfectly agree. Listen, you gotta get this school out, man. Kanye done made a school. Oprah done made hundreds of schools since before you started this. Listen, you gotta get this school done. I don't want to see you at the casino no more.
Right? I'm just saying, didn't Nipsey also start a school and then die and then be mourned and celebrated, and then other people started schools also because they were following Nipsey's, like, the amount of things that have happened in the world, including a worldwide pandemic that got to start, get some multiple different kinds of vaccine, and I mean, the amount of things that have happened since Umar promised us a school, right, that no one has ever seen. Why does anyone listen to Umar? Because we've also found out a lot of things about Umar, and none of them are righteous. So I'm just saying, he's a clown. He's a fraud. Why are we listening to him? Why do we always listen to people who tell us the worst stuff and don't know anything about anything? Because, like, anyone who's worth a damn will tell you, even if you don't care about who's president and stuff, like, you have to get into local politics. Like, anyone who's worth a damn. That is the one thing, folks, like, when I first came in here, right? Like, when you're talking about BGS, or you're talking about, brothers like Cerulean who've been in this stuff. What do they tell you? Get into local politics, right? Like, I find it amazing that to this day you have idiots who are supposed to be leaders saying, let's just not vote then. Okay.
Listen, y'all, and by the way, what makes me upset, and we're gonna go back to Ruby, is y'all quote Malcolm X about being this rebel, and y'all heard it out the man's mouth, had a whole speech about voting because that's how you get your power. You're just saying I'm gonna sit out is the dumbest. Matter of fact, he was so extreme, he said, we're gonna kick you out of our neighborhoods if you don't vote. He said it's either a ballot or a bullet. Listen, that's how extreme he was about voting, that all y'all claim. I know I'm talking about the hood people. All y'all claim I don't vote because I don't care about that because the system ain't for us. Literally, the man y'all revere, Malcolm X, said ballot or bullet.
Just saying, and I don't know. Maybe that's why things like the next story happen. And y'all see what I'm talking about by the end of the story. Let's take a look at what's going on with this Starbucks gets sued and Starbucks loses situation over here. All right, y'all. And so before we even jump into this story, we have to give our shout out to the one and only Char Willie. Thank you so much for this story. I remember this story. I'm glad we're getting an update about it. I remember this story. Okay, y'all. So let's take a look now. Y'all might remember this one. Y'all might remember this one as well. Let's take a look.
Starbucks manager who claims that she was fired because she was white won her lawsuit against the coffee company. The New York Times reports that Starbucks was ordered to pay more than $25 million to that former regional manager. Shannon Phillips was let go amid the fallout of the high-profile...
Hold on, can we just talk about how much Starbucks is taking L's lately? Like, real talk? Like, they're taking mad L's left, right, and center. I don't know why, but, bro, Starbucks, this is not your day, week, month, year. I don't know, man. It's just not.
Arrests of two black men at a Center City, Philadelphia store. Phillips said that she had nothing to do with the arrests at 18th and Spruce in April of 2018. But she accuses Starbucks of responding to it by unfairly punishing white employees. Phillips says that she lost her job after objecting to the company putting another white manager on leave. Starbucks denied the claims, but a federal jury in New Jersey unanimously sided with Phillips.
All right, so let's take a look at a couple more details to the story, right? So the lawsuit was filed in 2019, and it argues that Phillips, a Starbucks employee for nearly 13 years, who oversaw retail operations in southern New Jersey, Philadelphia, Delaware, and parts of Maryland, had nothing to do with the men's arrests. Rather, the lawsuit argued that Phillips was terminated less than a month after the viral encounter because she objected to placing the white district manager at the Spruce Street location on administrative leave for allegedly paying black workers less than their white counterparts. Claims Phillips said she knew to be untrue. At the same time, Phillips' lawsuit argued Starbucks declined to punish a black district manager who supervised the Spruce Street store where the arrest took place, while suspending and eventually firing another Philadelphia district manager who was white. Paul Sykes, the black district manager who oversaw the Spruce Street store, told the jury that Phillips was a well-liked manager who worked tirelessly following the arrests, according to Law 360. In court filings, lawyers for Starbucks argued that Phillips, as a regional district manager, was fired not because of her race, but because she failed to lead her team by remaining mum following the men's arrests and ensuing outcry. During this time of crisis, Starbucks' Philadelphia market needed a leader who could perform. Miss Phillips failed in every aspect of that role, the company's lawyers wrote. She probably was a scapegoat. I mean, this is what they do, right? They always just pick the person that they can fire with the least amount of blowback on them, so they get to offer up a sacrificial lamb. That is absolutely true. They absolutely do that, right? So, I mean, are we pretending like we don't know that corporations work this way? Like, most people have not worked somewhere that works exactly like this? Like, okay. Sure, Starbucks, sure. Now, according to Law 360, Starbucks attorney told the 8-member jury that, I thought you'd get 12 members of a jury. Anyway, that Phillips was replaced by another white regional director because of his leadership experience in crises such as the 2013 Boston Marathon bombings. A peacetime leader is a very different from a wartime leader, lawyer Richard R. Harris reportedly told the panel. So, how are you, I mean, to me, that seems like it might actually... It should have maybe mitigated the argument, right? Because if you're saying, well, I was only fired because I was white, right? And like, they're not going to, they need to get rid of white people and bring up black folk and whatever, right? But like, no, they replaced her with another white person, someone who would lead better, apparently. Now, for those of you who don't remember the initial encounter, okay? The initial encounter occurred on April 2018 when Rashawn Nelson and Dante Robinson, both 23 at the time, sat in the Starbucks in Rittenhouse Square, waiting to meet with a business associate. When Nelson asked to use the restroom without first making a purchase, he said he was refused because he wasn't a customer, and a manager asked the men to leave the store. When they didn't, a store employee called the police. Remember that? Like, they just called the police. Like, they didn't give them an opportunity to buy something, to explain that they're going to be buying something in a moment, like nothing. Remember that? Like, they treated them like their intentions must be criminal, or they must be like vagrants or something. Like, within seconds. I so remember this. Now, what happened next, police leading the men out of the store in handcuffs, was viewed millions of times in a no longer public viral Twitter video, sparking mass outcry, roundtable discussions of racism in retail, protests, and a media firestorm. Of course, no charges were filed. Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson publicly apologized and flew to Philadelphia to meet with the men and government officials. And Starbucks closed its U.S. stores for a day for racial bias training for the company's 175,000 employees. The Seattle-based corporation implemented a policy to make its bathrooms open to anyone, which was modified in 2012 to allow Starbucks employees to close restrooms in the event of safety concerns. In the wake of the fallout, Philadelphia police also issued a new policy encouraging officers to de-escalate and use greater discretion when determining whether to arrest people accused of trespassing on private property. A month after they were arrested, Nelson and Robinson reached an undisclosed financial settlement with Starbucks, which included free college tuition. Good job. Separately, the pair also settled with the city for a symbolic $1 each and a pledge from the city to spend $200,000 on a program dedicated to teaching Philadelphia public school students about financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and the community impacts of small business. Bro, that's power. That's a boss move. Dude. That's boss. That's boss for real. In an interview following the incident, Robinson said he wanted to make sure this situation doesn't happen again and for a young man or young men to not be traumatized by this and instead motivated and inspired. That's awesome. That is.
Does anybody else in this place think this is ridiculous?
It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Does anybody else think? So we'll go somewhere else and then we'll deal with Starbucks. We're not. We asked him to leave first. I didn't want to talk. I think that. I can argue here. We're done. It's not in the base. That's the end. This is another motivation why I'm
There's the time. France and map.
Clearly,
Watch this, y'all.
Don't get into a fight with them. Don't get into a fight with them.
Like this, don't want no stuff to be no stuff. Like, they're just trying to meet their business associate, you know?
What did they get called for? Because there are two black guys sitting here meeting me? Yes, I didn't know they black guys. Well, what did they do? What did they do? Someone tell me what they did.
They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing. They asked me in the bathroom. The woman says, come on,
Now, if y'all want to see the entire refresher video, okay, make sure you guys keep an eye out for when we drop the pre-record release. I'll make sure that I have the full video of the incident so that way it can fully remind you of what exactly happened. Kudos. But you know what? I don't want to hear any more white folks saying, we could never do the same thing. We could never just say, hey, it's because I'm white. Now apparently you can, and guess what? As is usual, you get to benefit way more than black people ever do, because when stuff happens to us, it's way worse than just getting fired. And guess what we get? Way less than $25 million. So go team, go. As is usual, y'all win again, and you're gonna barely see it as equality even. You're gonna see it as you're still somehow or another poor you guys and us. I'm just saying, but kudos to y'all, and shout out to those two brothers and what they actually chose to do, given this situation happened to them and the injustice happened to them, and for them to pay that forward into financial literacy and security for countless future brothers and sisters. Kudos to them, man. I love that update. At least one of these updates I loved. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's amazing. Shout out to Shara. Thank you so much for this one.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your J-O-B. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing.
I mean, do y'all hear that though? Or is it just me that hears a lot of a certain persuasion of person walking around all the time talking about how these days it's basically illegal to be white. These days, all you get discriminated against for being white. I can never get anything anymore because I'm white. Like, I hear it so often, right? And yet, all I see in the news are examples that, hey, anytime y'all want to complain, like even like the littlest bit, they just pour money at y'all to make you go away. And then when they do horrific things to us, if we can get like 6 figures, like max on a great day after you slaughtered half our family unjustly, that would be like, yay, a victory. So, I mean, I don't know. That's how I see it though. Real talk. That is literally how I see it. So when I saw this, I'm like, really? This is what you sued? Even though like the reasoning seems pretty sound because they hired a white manager to replace you. So you didn't get fired because you were white. They clearly can't be the answer because they hired a white manager to replace you. And yet despite that, but I got fired because I'm a white woman worked. And now she's got what, 8-figure settlement? Yeah, that's poor thing. I mean, who cares about the black men and the effect that all had in their lives? Like, who cares, right? Do you think she's going to donate even like 10% of it to like, I don't know, a Black Lives Matter cause, like at all, like these black men did? Where they forfeited anything the city could possibly give them to make the city better for the next generation coming up. Do you think she cared? Do you think? Or no? I don't know. What do you think, Sal?
Listen, I already told y'all the scariest thing is white women tears, because they seem to get whatever they want. That's why also Karens do what they do, because they feel entitled. So when it don't work, they like just completely panic. It's like a complete panic of whatever happens. By the way, they also want to take over everything. It's the most interesting thing. Like, if you say Black Lives Matter, it has to be all lives matter. They can't say white lives matter because it's weird, but they have to say all lives matter. You say woke, they have to take it. Like, it's a simple thing. And by the way, I even said this in the video on, I'm not going to completely get into this, but I also explained what systematic racism can be into a way that maybe even somebody who's not even racist can do it. Like, I called it like a cultural office thing. Like, oh, this dude's fit with me, but since that black guy and I ain't used to him, that's systematic because, again, you were never around black people, so therefore your culture will never integrate with black people. Even if you're not racist, you're more comfortable with white people, therefore giving black people less of a chance. That's a nice way to do it. That's me giving you charity and being charitable to you.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, hey, listen, speaking of Karen, just so you know, we'll see how like these types of entitled Karens, how they're bred from very teeny tiny, to prove Zell's point about that the tears and their shock, horror, and outrage when those tears just don't work for them. That is coming up in our Karen segment today. So it's gonna be a good Karen segment, that's for sure.
But I wanna give something to y'all, an update on a streamer, and I promised you fire, so we're gonna see more fire too.
You did,
so
yeah.
I did. I promised a lot of fire. Even the intro has flames. Again, this is gonna make you smile because me and Ruby's favorite one of our 2 favorite friends. This one not Mizzy, it's the other one. They kind of got a little get back. So let's go watch. Hey, welcome to Zell Reacts 2, where I got 2 stories this time. This time on stream. It's streamer related. Of course, streamer. Y'all remember this dude? Y'all might not remember him, but we're gonna remind you who he is soon. But he got what he deserved. Let's go over this story first. Let's go over this. Let's go over this dude.
I don't condone violence, but this did make me smile. Do you remember that idiot that?
Yeah, that's him. Remember him from the story they built?
Hiroshima, Nagasaki. We're gonna do it again. You understand?
He's saying that he'll drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This is like going up to a Jewish person and making a Nazi joke. He later got harassed by a guy on a motorcycle.
No problem. No problem.
I found the video. Oh, we found him. So I had this video putting them together. Look at it. You see that?
We good. Come on, man. No.
It showed how dumb he is by not using a freaking spoon when he doesn't know how to use chopsticks.
This is a moron too.
All of a sudden, I go to Japan, I say something to somebody, it's a, oh my god, it's a hate crime.
Now he got smacked on the streets of Tokyo.
Weird shit. If I go back and whoa, what the fuck?
Whoa, I'll be that news. Don't condone violence at all. Listen to this, Jack. We condone the violence to him. We condone the violence to him. No, we don't. We don't want no one hurt. We don't want no one hurt. Let's watch. There's something else happened to him on Kick. Let's go see what happened to Mr. Johnny Somali on Kick. He's in another country still harassing people. Apparently they done caught wind of who he is. So let's see.
Drop the bread first. Drop the bread first. Drop the bread first. This ain't safe, man. Shut the fuck up. Hey, all my real niggas drop in Discord right now. Hop in Discord. Oh, whoa, what the fuck? Yo, you tripping, nigga?
Listen, I do have theories that this could be fake because he know people want to get him, so he could be creating content. I don't think the smack was. I think the smack was people's getting annoyed because I do have another video that I might put out today or tomorrow in which somebody was streaming and somebody started chopping people's arms off. Now this kid, the other video was not. I don't think they was directly videoing him. I just think he lost it because he probably see weird kids streaming other people. But yo, listen, when you go to other countries, now I'm hoping this is actually real. We don't all be that news don't condone violence, but if it's fake, he could just be trying to get attention, and I'm bringing him more attention because Johnny Somali is a loser, and he needs to do weird things to get attention. So I don't. It could 100%, as it says 0. Y'all see that? It said right there. Y'all see that right there? 0. Look at NBA Trey. He understand. Big hands are for a cyber panhandler. Look, everybody knows he's a loser, but he gets attention. He's a loser that gets attention because the whole chat is making fun of him. He's a loser that get attention. So, congrats. You're known as a loser. And if this is real, now you're getting attacked by other people. So we got one more story. That's the opposite of this. Let's go look at this story. In a terrifying series of events, streamer Just Foxy had her car lit on fire by a viewer who drove 700 miles to her house. He had already been taken into custody and no one was hurt. See, parasocial behavior is insane, right? Her name is, I think it is Kylie Carter. This guy apparently set a car on fire. So let's go see how these parasocial Twitch people are. Like, we're not on Twitch anymore, but let's see. So this dude drove 700 miles and he's not putting. He's pouring gasoline in the car. Is that a lamp? Wait, what? What? You come. Listen, gotta tell everybody. Gotta move. I gotta get some more Ring cameras. Put some little cameras outside because we gotta handle this. Get the shotgun out. Yeah. We get famous. I gotta get the shotgun out. I don't think this girl was that famous. More probably so with Ruby. Ruby, get Mr. Rubes to go get it. Go handle this. Get some stuff because I don't know if they come in the hood with me. Maybe I won't live in the hood soon, but they might come to you. So I'm just saying. The parasocial behavior. You already got some stuff. I'm just saying parasocial. Oh, I don't know what to say. That is crazy. I appreciate y'all, man. I don't know what to say about that. This is insane. We had good news though. The guy got smacked. Hopefully it was for real. Let me know, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Be safe out here in the streets because your car might get set on fire by a weirdo. Just saying. Listen. Shout out to the guy getting smacked. 100% hope it's real. I hope he just gets choked out every time he streams. I noticed he hasn't streamed since. So I don't. So I haven't. I went to his Kick to see has he streamed. He has not streamed. So now when I recorded this, I was like maybe it was fake. But now I'm not sure. He hasn't streamed in since it's been 4 days since this happened. So I'm not sure he streamed. I haven't seen it unless he streamed today. But as of last night, has not streamed.
Yeah, I mean, I figure it's probably real. Just because and I don't know why Americans are so, I mean, I do know why, because y'all are conditioned to be very ethnocentric, so you don't understand that the rest of the world doesn't operate like America, and they have different cultural norms and values and belief systems and stuff, right? And so when you're in a collectivist culture, they do a lot to try to be ingratiating towards visitors, right? And tourism, especially if their country needs it. However, as a collectivist culture, they have like kind of one mind, one identity. So when you insult one of them, you insult all of them. And when you are trying to take advantage of their kindness, it's not going to go well, right? So I believe that absolutely it's true, because they're from a culture where, yeah, absolutely, this is how they deal with things. I'm just saying, like, most cultures are like this, you know what I mean? A lot of cultures are not that long off from when someone stole a slice of bread or a loaf of bread at a store, they'll just chop your arm off. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not that far off from it. So, you know, a little backhand because you deserve it, or because they saw you disrespect someone in their culture you shouldn't have. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Listen, normally I say I normally don't do this, because normally I say I hope he's okay, but I'm gonna be real. Something bad happened to him. He deserved it. Like, after a while, like, if I tell you, like, just imagine if some white guy came into the hood in our area where Black Americans are and just start yelling, "Y'all deserve slavery." How y'all think this gonna go? Are you gonna be like, "Oh, I hope he's okay"? You're not. You're not.
I mean, I don't even know how he did that, though. I mean, I just remember learning about Hiroshima and stuff, and I remember crying. Like, my whole class cried. I remember, like, actually actively crying about the horror. You know, how sad that is, that you can't escape the cloud. It was eventually coming for you, and then watching, you know, in horror of, you know, this affecting your children, your loved ones, you know, whatever, and just to learn. Just even, you know, the sterility that happened afterwards, so on and so forth. And it's like, wow, you think this is a joke? Right? Just like, I don't know what is wrong with Generation Z. They think everything's a joke these days, right? Slavery is embellished, right? The Holocaust embellished, right? I'm sure they think Hiroshima is embellished, right? They just think everything's embellished. Like, I don't know why they think everything's a joke thing these days. Probably because America's trying so hard to whitewash so much of history. But, like, bro, y'all gonna get people caught up. And Black people, stop doing what these other people are doing, because this is not for you. It's for their culture. Let them do it.
Listen, it's a reason nobody ever dropped another nuke. It's a lot of talk that we're gonna do it, but it's a reason why. Because once one dropped, somebody else got dropped. And if you, and by the way, they are a lot more powerful than they was even then.
Mm-hmm.
And if you actually, I went over there and you see it, and you go to the museum and you see how the cloud of poison, just, even if you don't get hit by it, it just poisons everyone, and then they all just pass out. Listen, it is gruesome, and it's a reason why nobody's ever used it again. I don't even think even the president was like, yo, that's the person that made it, like, I did something demonic. He's like, I made this, I didn't know it was gonna do this. This is absolutely demonic.
Exactly. So yeah, in conclusion, yeah, no, punch him in the face as much as you want. I'm good with that.
Choke him out and put him to sleep every time he stream. Maybe he'll learn, he'll listen sooner or later.
Yep, pretty much. But okay, listen, guys. Okay, we're not going to hold you much longer. Okay, we're just going to play a couple Karens for you. Now, for those of you who might have anything to do with Reddit, you know that things like public freakout are currently not available, which means some of y'all might be tweaking. You're like, oh, I haven't seen anything crazy or wild, and Ruby's probably not going to be able to show us anything. I mean, come on, public freakout is down, but guess what? Ruby has a whole stockpile of Karens. Always do. Always do. So I'm going to give you not just one, but two to help you get through this whole Reddit has shut down all of these important subreddits until Reddit. It's confusing when you say that. Reddit, the company, complies. Anyway, another point. Point is, guys, first and foremost, let us dance. We have two Karens for you. The first is a baby Karen. Okay, Karen in her infancy. Well, Karen in her childhood, but whatever. Second is, it's a feel-good story, guys. Okay, the Karen is a male Karen, and it's a feel-good story. Y'all will see what I mean when we get there. Let's watch the first one.
calling me Karen cause I make them nervous. Well, fine, call me that, I'm Karen about good service. I'd like to speak to the manager. I'd like to speak to the manager.
Help me, please. Oh God, please, please.
Now, I took out as much of the background noise as I could, okay? And so to be clear, you're hearing a little girl, okay? You will see what persuasion of little girl she is in a moment, okay? Now, this little girl is screaming, help me, please, help me, help me, help me, right? Now, what were we just talking about? We're talking about the fact that they are conditioned from very young age, right? For their tears to be used as weapons. They are told that their tears are the almighty and are powerful. And they do not know how to handle when their tears do not get them what they want, because they are told that that's how you get what you want. There's no possibility in their minds that the tears aren't going to get them what they want. Okay? So when it doesn't work out for them, they don't know how to handle it. So let's see how baby Karen works out. I've removed as much background noise as I could. This is actually happening on an airplane. Imagine this happening on an airplane, y'all. Bro, I'd be losing it. I'd be losing it.
God, please help me. God, help me.
Okay? Look right behind this woman. Okay? Right behind this woman is where it's happening.
God,
there she is.
Help me. God, help me.
Y'all see that girl right there? The one behind her? She's like behind.
If you don't calm down,
So now you hear the mother saying to the girl, right? She's telling her she needs to calm down because you're hearing her like basically hyperventilating, right? Right now, I bet you, you know what? Listen, I actually looked to see if there was any accusations that this woman kidnapped this child. No, there's none. It was weird, right? So the black man with his daughter, bro, he shows up at the airport, perfectly happy little girl, and guess what? Accused of trafficking his own daughter. But this one has one yelling and screaming for help. What, no homeland security when they land? Strange. I wonder what's different about them. Anyways, so you hear her like hyperventilating. She's fighting over there in the corner. You're going to see her come out from that corner in a second, okay? And this is her mom right here now, trying to tell her to calm down. And she's not going to calm down. Wait till you see what she's making this noise over, y'all. Wait.
No! Thank you. No! Give me that bag! Christella, that's not even yours. What are you doing?
Do you want to play with me?
So you see, so now this gentleman is asking, like, what do you want? Right? And she's not even really being responsive. She's because she's hoping that that man will just start reaching for things to give it to her. Right? But the thing is the thing she wants doesn't belong to her, as you heard the mother say. There's a bag right here in her hands now. Okay? That bag does not belong to her. That bag belongs to this woman in front of her. Okay? But she don't business because in that bag at the top, as you can see, there's some Cheetos.
I'm bigger than you.
You're so rude! Give me that! No! Don't! No! Give me that!
Watch.
No!
Right, now she's just trying to just kindly take her. Look at what she's doing, bro. Look at what she's doing.
No!
Look. Look, it's Karen. It is Karen. I'm telling you, they are conditioned from birth to behave this way, bro. From birth. Watch her. This is a plane, y'all. This is a plane. You twist someone was killing her. Look, no one's even touching her now. And she's still doing it.
Okay, Crystal, we're going. You made the scene, okay? All these people.
Stop staring at me, all of you! You are all stupid!
Oh my God.
No! What do I do?
Flight attendants prepare doors for arrival. Suspect in my phone call.
I mean, isn't that amazing? It's like the Karen handbook, right? You're all dumb. Well, you're all dumb. It's the Karen handbook, bro. She's already well trained, and her mom's sitting there trying to act like she didn't learn it from her. But where else did this child learn this from, right? I mean, for real. Okay, so now, guys, we're at the come up. Okay, we're at the comeuppance section. I wanted us all to be able to leave on a happy note. Okay, I wanted us all to leave on a happy note. Okay, so I want y'all to meet male Karen. Now, normally what we see in the airports, right? Because we were in the plane, the Karen was passenger. So you would think, okay, well, it might be this gentleman here. He's the Karen. No, the employee is the Karen in this case. And boy, does the employee learn that he should have tried Jesus. Let us see what happens. I don't want to ruin it for y'all. Let's just see. Watch. Here's the thing. This is how I can laugh, okay? Because first of all, that man who works for the airport had no business putting his hands on a passenger. None. That passenger didn't put his hands on you. I don't care if you were frustrated with him. I don't care. You had no right to put your hands on this passenger, no matter how lowly you think of Black people, because you are not acting as an independent agent. You're working right now, right? And so you're not allowed to touch passengers, but you decided you should be allowed to walk up to this Black man and slap him like he's your child. So this Black man said, he just made sure he wasn't crazy. Did you see that? Like, you have to, something so wild, you have to turn to someone else and ask them if they saw it. That's how you know that it was wild. But he made sure, did you hear that? You saw that? Yeah, it wasn't just me. Good. Right? So now everyone knows why I'm swinging. I can't go to prison if someone else saw this really happen. You know what I mean? Bro. And the man, now the employee could have just backed off or just, taken his little punch because he should have taken it. But no, and then he kept trying to push back, and this man goes tumbling down like Humpty Dumpty, gets up with his his shell all cracked, okay? Blood yolk pouring down his face. Now, does he stand over there like someone with common sense and just chill out? No, he doesn't, right? You'll see this foolishness, right? What is he doing? Someone tell me why Karen is now walking up on the same man that has your face bleeding all over like he didn't sneak punch you. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a sneak shot. Like, are you silly or something? Bro, mentally redacted. You see why this needs to be a topic? Mentally redacted. Okay, let's keep watching.
He wants more.
Do you want more? You hear him? Black man's trying to ask him, bro. I'm trying to give you the warning. Do you want more? Nope. The answer was no. No, he did not want more. That was great. What do you think, Zoe? How did our baby Karen and our stupid Ken and his comeuppance treat you today?
Listen, I went to the VA one time, and this old white gentleman, he told me he saw a video of Tiger Woods, and he said, "I'm gonna tell you the truth, young man. Like, we train our little girls to do all kind of stuff for advantage, including married Black men." And I would thought it was very weird, but he was on a cancer bed, so I guess he decided that it didn't matter. If I tell you that we train them to act up in the street to get what they want, and that we train them to, hey, if a Black man rich, go for it. And them are the two things I learned that day. And every day we do a Karen video, and every day I watch TV and all this other stuff. It remains true. What he tells me that was true. See, I used to think it, but he confirmed it. He said, literally, my wife trained him. I was like, oh. I guess he had nothing to lose. He was in the cancer center.
True.
Yeah, like, I'll tell you something. He saw Tiger. I remember that he saw Tiger Woods on TV during when he was going through something. When the woman tried to leave him and get all that money. He said, "We trained him to do that." And I'm like, "What?" I thought it was, even though I believed it. But it's like, it's shocking when somebody actually tell you.
Not to me, because I was born and raised with these folk.
But if you know it, but then all of a sudden somebody tell you, be like, "You were so bold to tell me this."
No, that's what. Listen, I try to tell people, they don't believe me, right? Because I'm it's not that I'm a minority in the country. It's that I was born and raised around like 3 Black people in my school kind of situation. So when I try to tell people what it is, I no, this doesn't surprise me because I know this is how they're raised. They're conditioned this way from birth. I watch it happen. You will watch them sit there and talk to their little girls and say, "Did you drop them tears? Good girl," and stuff like that to manipulate folk. You will watch them do it. Okay. Now, Mandrell, listen, you missed something today, sir. Okay, because you were on the panel with me on Grey Pill when we were doing the AI discussion. Okay, listen, you can look through this. You can wait till we do the independent release when we do Oscar. Okay, bro. You thought AI was a little bit scary when we were in the discussion a couple weeks ago. Wait till you see what Oscar is. That is a nightmare. But yeah, no, listen. All in all, I'm telling y'all, this is how they condition them. This is why I don't feel bad for them. I don't. That's like, sorry. But y'all, I don't know. I think I really enjoyed the show. What about you? Did you enjoy the show? I really enjoyed the show. This is good.
I think we delivered on everything. I promise fire. We got a lot of fire. We got AI, crazy technology. We did politics. We covered everything. And by the way, our Rumble is now up. We have 3 videos. I think we have like 2 or 3 followers. We get to 5. We can live stream on there. So click that link tree and get on Rumble because we're already monetized. So on Rumble. So that's a great thing. So if you want to watch what we put on there, we have all the regular videos. The lives will not be on Rumble, but all our regular videos are until we can go live on it, of course. So all the regular videos we put out weekly will come on there, maybe a day later than when we put it out, but they come up. So it's synced with YouTube and it's monetized. So if you want to really support us, go over there to that Rumble, support us on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe here. Go follow on that, like over there too, and all that. Just show a little love, because hey, your people monetized. So the link is the pinned tweet. Shout out to Shar for making the pinned tweet, by the way.
Yes, definitely. Appreciate you all. We couldn't be doing any of this without you. We're at like 67 subscribers. Swear to God, every time I just look, I'm like, oh my God, we're at 60. And then we're suddenly at 63, and then we're suddenly at 65. I swear to God, I just looked and we were at 65, and then it's showtime, we're at 67. I'm like, what? Y'all are doing work, okay? Y'all are doing the Lord's work. You are sharing, you're liking, you're subscribing, you're commenting, you're letting people know, yeah, but God, my friend, I follow this person. Just check that out real quick. I super appreciate y'all, because we could not be half this successful at this point, this baby little channel we just started, without y'all. So thank you so much. Okay? You know what I mean? It's crazy, right? Now, if y'all would like to see your name up in lights, or if you want to remain anonymous, but you just want to see us cover something that maybe, is only in your local news, or, you don't think that would be on our radar, you can send that request. I'll be that news at gmail.com. Okay. We go through every single request, right? We try to cover as much as possible, even if we don't get it in right away. We might get it a little bit later. Some of the stories that I covered today were sent a few weeks ago, but it went better with the theme of today. So we wait till today. So you know what I mean? So definitely love to see every single one of your suggestions and your requests. If you have any other types of suggestions, you can always email us too. If it has to do with a discussion topic for the call-in shows on Monday or something, let a sister and a brother know. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for coming out. You guys have been super awesome and hilarious today. Definitely. And I don't know, you have anything else though?
Oh, I want to do this. Shout out to Ruby. Her Jerry Springer video almost at 1,000 views. So let's go. I don't know if it has hit 1,000, but it was there this morning. So let's shout out to Ruby. Let's go.
Woo! I didn't know that until Zell said it like right before showtime, because I only check the videos, like I check for comments, right? And so I can respond to comments, but after the first couple of days of like performance, I don't even look at the performance, so I didn't even know. So
It actually picked up in like the last 3 days randomly after it'd been out for the day.
yes. So yeah, there you go, y'all. Thank you very much again. I mean, and shout out to Neek for that suggestion, because I don't even think I even would have known that topic without her, right? So, you know, this is again, it's a combined effort, y'all. It's our news, right? And if y'all say I'm a copycat, well, I'll be that. It's cool. It's fine. I don't care. I have 1,000 views. What you got? No, I'm kidding. But thank you very much, y'all.
I don't know how you come, because there is no show like this on the internet. I don't know no other show that actually has all this 90s theme production and everything. I don't know. Pre-recorded videos. We react to videos as y'all watching them together. That is the most interesting.
I'm saying, right? I mean, come on. We all know that Ruby's a genius. Y'all are trying to learn that Zell's, you know, he's all right too. Right. So I mean, in general, right, we're gonna do big things. We're glad that you're gonna be with us along the way. Okay. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Okay. Keep an eye out. There's always stuff coming down the pipeline. Okay. There's always stuff coming down the pipeline. I love you guys. Cheers.
Peace.